Good morning. Why is the subtitle so low? That's not good. Hang on. There we go. That's better. I don't know why that happened. Strange. Yes, good morning. I still exist. Sometimes. We're doing a coding game. I don't have much to explain here. Actually, I do. We're coding a maze. Or a maze solving algorithm. Right, but it's getting stuck in a loop. You know, my cat just woke up as soon as I started talking, and now he's scratching some cardboard, which will definitely be noisy. I can talk a little bit about how this already works, for anyone who wasn't here last time. Sorry, I'm very tired. So we've got our main maze loop here. And if you've never coded anything before, I guess this will be a little bit out of sorts, or you probably won't understand. So I'll walk through it piece by piece. We've got our drone. We init the drone. Drone is its own file right here. If we can take a look at. All this does is it goes to a specific spot, and then it does a specific task. So in this case, we go to spot 00, which is right here. Right here. We want a 10 by 10 grid that it's going to work in, right here. And the task it's doing is treasure, which is in crops. Crops is in here. Treasure's all the way at the bottom, because it's the newest one I've been working on. This sets it to a wizard hat. Cool, that's still set. It does some error checking for width and length type things. This has to be a square, right? We calculate how much weird stuff, what is it called? Weird substance? Weird substance we use on a bush to generate the maze. And we apply that. Right, we plant our bush, we use the weird substance on the bush, and then we hop into this maze loop, which is what I'm working on down here. Maze loop has some variables and things that are set. It has defined some nodes, so I actually think I have notes about what is and is not a node. Is node is true. Sorry, I'm also relearning this code because it's been a week or so. Is true, or is node is true when you can move in 1, 3, or 4 directions. So that'll mean at the end of a path here. 3 is like a T-junction, right? And then 4, I don't know if 4 exists anywhere in the maze. I actually don't know if 4 is possible. But it's good for edge cases, I guess. I'll just assume it's possible. Okay. We also point the drone in a specific direction. This is all not real. So the drone doesn't actually face a direction, the drone moves in any direction it wants. It's always facing north, essentially. But we make it appear as if it's looking around to help navigate. So like when it gets to this corner, it actually in the code, it pretends like it turns to go north, and then it goes north, and it turns to pretend it's going east to go east, stuff like that. Then if it's a node, we get its index, What does scan node do? This one's complicated, right? Yes. Right, okay. So we've got a graph here, and every node in the graph is indexed by its coordinate. Good to know, and this is the current... Okay, so we have our XY, we check if it's visited. Is that still true? I thought I took that out. Address explored. I feel like we don't have visited anymore. I feel like I took that out. Am I wrong? I have add node that adds with an address and the explored list. So no? Damn. When do I call update node? It'll be in here. I don't think I do. I should have taken better notes when I stopped programming last time. Because now there's some stuff that's kind of hanging that I'm not quite sure about. So this also defines a neighbors, which I don't think gets used at all. I guess I could watch the end of that stream back to figure out what I was thinking. Right, we're also tracking the last node. So when we get to a node, we insert the last node into explored, right? Yeah, and then for the node that we were at previously, we insert this one to indicate that we've been there. And then explored takes an index node address. Shouldn't explore just be north, south, east, and west? Explored. What's our node index? 3? How is it 3? Oh, because we're just going into the list, I see. Okay, wait, what do we do now? Right, this is how we decide on what path we're going to use. Normally, right? So if not node, we use this one, right? If is node, we use this facing path function to determine what direction we go in next. And the last node index is node index, last node facing is facing. Huh. Okay, this gets set after move. So let me add that. Okay. So we move here. If we did not move, or if not move, what is move? Oh, if we can't move the direction we're facing, then we change the hat. I feel like this should go somewhere else. It seems like this could cause an error, because if we move into the corner, we won't know to turn around until after, but I guess we'll see what happens when we get there. I'm gonna watch this running for a second, just to see. So now we're stuck in a loop. Right here. That's because we don't know which way to move. Here's where we start getting into graph traversal, I think. I think that's where I'm at. Do I have MS Paint open? Oh, it's just called Paint now. Okay. Cool, Paint. So we've got a graph that looks like... actually, let's draw out the current maze. Oh, you can't see when I move that. Can I chroma out the white on this? That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? How do I do that? What is a window call? VS code. Not correct. Properties. No. Cancel. Filters. Effect. Chroma. Color. Custom. White. Now, I should be able to just draw on the screen, right? Can you see this? Is that showing up? I literally cannot see it. And my stream's not caught up enough because I've got slow internet. No, you can't see it. Okay. Okay, I want very similar. No smoothing. Make this as aggressive and annoying as possible. Cool. And then I'll let it crop. Oh my gosh, what happened? $50? $50's probably fine, right? Top will crop out 150. And then you're gonna have to deal with the, oh no, you don't have to deal with that at all. Bottom 50. There you go. Okay. Now we've got a whole window here where I can just draw stuff over top of the game. Like this, and you can't see shit for some reason. Why not? It's not working. Uh-oh. It's very broken. Hang on. Windows 10. But you can't actually see me drawing on it? That's kind of annoying. What does it look like if I take the filters off? Everyone, I'm confused. I don't understand how a chroma key could be doing this much damage. Maybe if I, like, increase the brush size or something? Oh, it's still broken. That's great. What the hell is happening? Um... What? Look at how much... There's like a lot of line on the screen, not a lot of line after I've chromed it. See, now you can see it. That's fine, but when I set it to a pure white chroma, it freaks out. What's going on? This is so weird. What? Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm changing the similarity. If I change the similarity from 1 to 20, you understand that black and white are not the same color, right? What if I draw in like green or something? Does this work? This works. I don't know why this is clearly like bugged or something. Much like most of OBS. Okay, I guess I'll draw in green. That's fine. I need the eraser to be giant. I need to just get rid of all this shit. Okay, now I can draw in green at you. That's fine, right? Yeah, there we go. Well, that was a lot for nothing. Okay. Let's take a zoom in on our graph here. Then we start in this bottom corner. So that's our first node. Let me move this off to the side so I can see. So we've got one node here, right? This is 0, 0. And then, if we zoom in, our next node, which has either 1, 3, or 4 branching paths, is right here. So we'll mark that. Right here. And they're connected by a line. Good news. Now we've got another node. If we travel, well, it traveled north. So the next node is here. Let's actually, I've got some new music. Let's see how loud this is. So we travel north up to here, 0, 3. That's our next node. And since this can branch and go different ways, I will branch off like this. This one is 0, 3. This one is 0, 0. What is this node? This is 0, or 2, 0. This goes up to another node here, because it's only got one path out. Which is the path that we're currently stuck in. Oh, that's what, 0, 4? Yeah, 0, 4. And then if we go back down this path towards the treasure, right, our next node would be here, which is 3, 2. Right, and so on. I won't draw the rest of the graph here. Actually, there are some more options. Let me keep going a little bit. So from this, we branch up to here, which is 0, 6. It's probably important, but we want to get 0, 6 in there. Oop, 0, 6. And then from here, we can go down to 3, 1. Is it 3, 1? Yeah. 3, 1. Or we can go all the way out here to 9, 4. Right, and that's only got, yeah, one other path there. There we go. So you kind of see how this works. Not every branch is going to only have 2 paths, right? Obviously, some of them will branch off into 3 or 4, or just 1. What are you doing, bud? He's disappeared. I heard meowing from behind me. Not even there. So the question is, we're stuck here at 0, 4, and we keep going back between 3 and 4 because if we take a look, and actually let me close this. If we take a look at our decision making, ultimately what happens is we get down to here. So we get to pick facing node. This looks at our direction and directions. If the direction does not equal graph nodes explored. Hang on. So these are the total directions we can actually move, which for 0, 4, which you're at, is just south. If direction does not equal graph.nodes current index explored. What does our current index explored look like? How does that get calculated? I should have written this down. This is, by the way, the Brain Age 2 soundtrack. I was kind of excited to have music that was a little bit less video game and a little bit more like sit down and think, so here we are. It's a little bit infantile though, I'm kind of concerned about that. Feels like I'm playing a Nintendo game from like 2005, which this game was, so I guess that makes perfect sense. It was like 2008, right? The Brain Age 2 came out? That game was fun. So graph nodes, node index, explore dependent direction, toggle facing. So this just means turn around, what direction are we facing, and we're appending that and last node index. I see, so this is saying the direction behind us. That's where that node index is. Keep track of that. And then we are in pick facing node, right? Excuse me. So we're checking graph nodes, so we're looking at our current index and we're getting explored. I can kind of see how this is causing an issue. So we want to check if we're at 0. Right, because it puts the direction in first and then the index in this tuple. Can we actually see what this value is generating while it's running? Please? Please? No? Can I see directions? Why not, game? Why not? Okay, whatever. 0, facing equals direction. Okay, I see how this wants to work. So this is just going to go through and explore all unexplored paths on a node. Which is a good instinct, but not correct. So let's see how this works now. This should function better than it did before. Oh, or it'll cause an error. Zero was outside the bounds of the list. Okay, I need to print this then. Quick print. Just print this list. Oh. I opened Copilot for some reason. Very cool, thank you. Okay. So west 1, south 2. But at some point it printed nothing. So we need to check in here. Wait, why could it even look at this if... Okay, hang on. So if... Oh my gosh, I keep opening Copilot. I'm not clicking Control, I'm used to Mac. So if this... I need to get the length of this. If this graph length is 0, we'll just move on so it stops causing error. Actually wait, if not equals 0, then we can just throw this inside this check. There we go. Brilliant. And then this should check for explored. This, I don't know who wrote this, but this shit does not make any sense. I think it was me. I mean, I get the idea, right? But this is not how this should be implemented. Okay, so for every direction we want to loop through. I keep clicking the Copilot button. I wish Windows would stop that. For explore it. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. And then we want to check if the direction that we're looking at is in or is not in x 0. There we go. So all of these are stored in this format, right? Direction, index. Excuse me. Our directions that we could move in are stored like this. So what I'm doing is if our explored length is greater than 0, right, we want to make sure there's actually something to scan through. What is my cat doing? We loop through all of our directions that we could go, and we check if this value, for all of the values in this array, is... Or no, we check if the direction that we're looking at is not in this array that we've explored already. Go ahead and point that way and try and walk down that path. It should get us closer, but it won't completely solve the problem. And it certainly won't solve it quickly. Stop. So here we got stuck again. Now we gotta figure out why we got stuck. This is actually a spot where I should have kept the print. Okay. I keep clicking the Copilot button. Expleed. Sure, explored. If I click the... I need to, like, move my keyboard so I'm clicking the right buttons. Okay. Now let's run this again. Stop. Now we're caught in a loop. Now we can look. So we've got one direction to go. We've already explored it. So we go back to none. That's not right. So hang on. Oh no. Noticing an issue with the code, where at some point something gets set to none, and that's not correct. No, let me zoom in on the problem. The problem is that there's an issue. So what could possibly be setting none? None just means it's, there's nothing there. Some systems will set that to be null. None. Okay, where are these set? These get set here. Right, yeah. Here and here. But append... Oh, that's fine. I mean, they should be happening in here, but it should be fine. Quick print. What does this do? Something here seems wrong, does it not? No, this is fine. Facing. It's facing. And then we're going to copy this, and we're going to go last node facing. Okay. Let's run this again until we get an error. Okay, we got a treasure. That's good. Stop. Right here, we're adding none, so this is a good spot. Facing north. Last node next is 3. Facing is none here. In here, facing is none. Right here. But why? When we appended south, that was back here. Facing north, facing none. Which, yeah, facing north makes sense because we inserted south there, because it gets turned around. But why does it get set to none at some point? Where would that happen? It gets set to there. The direction here can't be none. That doesn't make sense. I feel like I remember at some point I could hover over these and a pop-up would show up. It would give me info about the current state. And it's frustrating that that's not happening. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is happening. Where are we at in the code? So we can get imports. Okay, now we're back in this file. Where are we at? Now it's in graph. So I kind of just need to go until I get to where it's going to print stuff. Do I need to execute this? Just keep going. Now it's stuck. Snack. Oh my gosh, hang on. He decided he wanted to scratch up an expensive bag. That is not allowed. Okay. Let's take a look at this now. Facing gets set to none at the start. That could be it. But right now it's south. But at some point it's none. That's frustrating. Okay, now it's printing facing here. Oh, I can kind of see where my trouble is coming from. Okay, last node facing is none. So I'll have to make that change to print this correctly, because I was stupid. Where does this get set? So we have a last node index, but we don't know what direction that is. I'm confused. Did this just not get set? So we've never... No, we'd been to plenty of nodes before. How could this be? So this is the last node because it's looping up in this corner, right? So when it decides to move in this direction... Oh wait, hang on. Let's move this up towards our maze so we can actually see this in action. I'm aware what the button does that I'm clicking, thank you. So we move. I care about these, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Wait, can I stop here? Can I pause it? Here we go. So now we've moved all the way. Where's facing set? South. So currently the direction we're facing is this way. These are two. The last node we are facing is north now. So if I go one more, this gets set to south. Wait. Wait, when do we move? I thought we moved in here. I guess we move out here. Okay, that's good to know. Now last node facing is none again. It's probably that's causing the issue. It's not setting globally, it's setting it locally, so it's always none in every other function that needs it. And I'm just dumb. Cool. Now it's still broken, but at least it's not none, which is great. Okay. How fix? So we're getting this loop. We need to check when we add to this that pair doesn't already exist. This is a good time to use a set. Explored should just be a set, right? Hang on, let me figure out, let me remind myself about sets in Python. Not a data structure I typically use, because I don't program in Python a lot. My cat has decided that he is going to be very reckless and annoying. So duplicate's not allowed, right? Oh wait, but Python sets are immutable. I can't add new items, right? Oh, no, the items inside them are unchangeable. Cool. Add set items. With the add method, okay. So what am I doing here? I'm appending. How do I not do this? Explored should be a set. Nope. Close. No. Still no. Hang on. Keyboard? Keyboard. Okay, we're back. Keyboard is back. Alright. That should give us an empty set. And if it doesn't, I will have to do more work. There's a set constructor. That's probably a better idea. Set. Cool. That'll make an actually empty set rather than doing anything weird that I don't expect it to. I don't know what this does, but I'm going to change it just to be sure that I'm not breaking anything. And then in here, instead of append, we are going to add, and that should be fine. So now instead of adding duplicates, it will just not do that. Hopefully. I think. I think I know how this works. I've never touched sets in Python. Okay, we're looping. Yippee. Got him. Okay. My cat is freaking out completely. I'm gonna go manage him. So I'll be right back. Tell them all why you're misbehaving. Go on. What's wrong? No, you can't say anything anymore? What are you doing? Oh, 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 ow, 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 ow. Stop that. Chill out, buddy. Chill out. Yes. Okay. I think he just needed to be pet. I think he's just very cranky. You cranky? Okay. Yeah, you're good. Good. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Can I go back to it? Can you get off my lap now? Or are you like this forever? I think he's like this forever. Unfortunately. Oh, his eyes are closing. He's falling asleep. This is not good. I can't even reach my keyboard anymore. Okay, come on, get up. Get up. There we go. What a fiasco this cat is. Okay, back to it. Now it's just normally looping. Here's the problem though. In this case, it should go south, and it's not. Oh no, never mind me. That's probably wrong. When is it logging stuff? I don't know that I care about it logging anything. Okay, we don't need this. Definitely still want the error to print. I only care about it printing at nodes, which is up here, so that's fine. This should be last node facing. And then in here, this is pick facing node, so this only prints when it's at a node. That's fine. Directions explored, that is A-okay. Cool. Let us rerun. I just need to understand where it's breaking and why. So here, we scroll down. Let's scroll all the way down. It is going up into this area here, which is south. No, north. And then it turns around to look south. So that's node index 4. Actually, can I just look at the graph to see this? Nodes. Nodes. No, no. Why not? Nodes. Okay, I guess it won't show me that. I'm assuming this is index 4. And this is index 5. It started here. It went north until it got to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? I guess I can check. Oh, okay, that's great. Thank you for just putting a random bar right there. Well, that's the last node index, not the current node index. Okay, this couldn't possibly be 4. That would not make any sense because there's no way to get to this spot before this one. So this one has to be 4, this one has to be 5. That's all I know. This is also scuffed. There's no way to properly debug this. Usually Python programming goes a lot smoother than this, but there's just not the tools here to do everything correctly, so stuff's got to be jank. Or the tools to do everything are here, just not to do them efficiently. You know? You know. Okay, so at index 4, we've got north, south, and east. And we've only explored east and north, which makes complete sense. So we should explore south. I need to figure out why that's not happening. This one makes sense. It just turns around, because that's all it's got. You know what I could do? I could set this up to be correct. Node. Go to here. Cool. Now the length of the current... No, just get back here. There we go. So we've got the directions north, south, and east. We've already been to east, which is at node 1, and north, which is at node 5. Good to know. Now, for direction and directions. Right now, it is north. For X in explored. Which is east 1. We want to check that X0, which is east, does not equal direction north. and it does not. I see my problem. I see how I fucked this up. I don't check this correctly at all. So what happens is I check if anything does not equal... I need to check that this direction is not in this list. Okay, cool. That's actionable. Let me fix that. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Forget that I can't just zoom in. I have to be outside the window. So I need to check in X, and that's going to be equal to false. No, we're to set it to false. I was correct the first time. Okay. Wait, hang on. This will go here. So for every direction, we assume that it's not in this graph of nodes, and then we loop through, or we assume that it's not in the explored list set. It's a set. So we loop through that set and we check if the direction is not in the set. If it is, we set it to true. Right, okay. And then, out here, we say if not in X. This is supposed to be not in X. Then we do this. Okay, that should work. I'm assuming. Not valid statement. What are you on about? What isn't? Which one of these is not valid? This. Huh? That's not specific enough. If not in X feels very valid. I know these are. That's pointing to nothing. That's not even like on a line. Oh wait. There we go. I contend that it still wasn't on the line. Now we're getting stuck in a more reasonable spot. So here we get stuck because we've explored all of these nodes completely. So it doesn't do anything but loop. Here's the trouble. It doesn't understand that it's stuck in a loop. So it will never stop. We need to do some more complicated maths here to figure things out. So let's take a look back at our old graph. See this old graph? This was from an older run that we did when we mapped it out. where we start at 0, 0. We go to 2, 0. And the treasure, by the way, was like down here somewhere. It was off in the middle of nowhere. Let's just assume it's here. Now let's assume that these are the only paths. This is actually a good setup for what we have. So first we go down to 4, right? We go as far as we can down to 4. We can't explore 4 anymore, so we go back to 3, and we explore 6. Because we've already explored up at 2. Right, so now we go to 6. And now we're stuck in a loop. Because we've explored all these, it will just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? The trouble is this. If we get stuck down here, we can't ever make it to the treasure. Not good. What we need to do instead is be a little bit more careful about how we actually move around. So you've got 2 options for this. One is depth first searching, which means we go all the way down to 4, and then we go to 3, and then we go to 6, and then we go back up and we do the same thing. We go down to 3, 1, and then we go to 9, 4. Other option is breadth first searching, which says we go to 0, 3. We know the treasure's not there, so we go to 3, 2. Right, and then we go to 3, 1, and then we go back to 9, 4, and then we found it. I don't know which is better in this scenario, because I've never applied this to mazes before. But we'll want one of those. We need to know which paths have not been explored yet, and how to get there. Which is easy in graphs, like in computing. It's not so easy when you actually need to travel in space. No, it is not. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It's also a little bit different than regular graphs because we don't have the whole graph when we start. We build the graph out as we go. It's not just that we don't know what is in the graph, but we also don't know where everything is. Oh. No, we don't know what everything is, right? I think we probably need to add some data to this, which is how we completely explored everything. That's something we don't get currently. Rather than visited, it should be complete, right? We've gone down every path in a node. So that'll be true or false. I will add that here. By default, it'll be set to false. And then I will have a condition in our scan that sets it to true. I'm also going to update this update node. That seems important. Oh my gosh, I clicked the Copilot button again. Microsoft is killing me. Oh, of course this is fucking bad. This isn't right at all. Okay, we still need the address. We don't need type or visited or neighbors. We need explored and complete. If node index is not known, that's fine. This is not correct anymore. Nodes at node index. Wait, but these are a tuple, right? Is that gonna cause me grief? This may well cause me grief, having this be a tuple and not a list. Wait, hang on. Is dumb me? Am dumb? I'm dumb. Oh, am dumb. Maybe not am dumb. How? No, wait, this just adds. It doesn't add node at all. Add node 0. Oh, that's explored. Hang on. My stupid is showing. Hang on. Address. Okay, it is an object. Or a dictionary. Why did I not take better notes? Oh my gosh. I always regret this every time I don't take good notes. If you're in a programming class or whatever, take really good notes constantly. It's very important. So we've got our address. We've got complete, explored, all of this jazz. I hit the co-pilot button again. Damn, co-pilot button. There we go. Okay, so now we go to the node index. We take our address. Add that in, complete. That'll be set to complete. And we take our explored, and that'll be equal to our explored. Cool. Now, let me update this so that it's not as bad. Hang on. Graph. Dot update node. And now we need the address. Got our node index. So this should just be graph node index 0. This all needs to be completely rewritten when I'm done, but you know what they say. Build first, optimize later. If you're looking for examples of good code, don't reference this. This is a little sloppy. Very sloppy. Okay. So that's 0, which is our address. No. Hang on. Address. Our complete. I hit the co-pilot button again. Damn it. The reason I keep hitting the Copilot button is because on Mac, copy is command copy. And on Windows, it's control copy. On Windows, the command button on Mac is where the Windows button is on Windows. And if you hit Windows C, it opens Copilot. So I am used to Mac, where I'm hitting Command C in my brain, and Windows says, "You want Copilot, buddy? Here you go." I don't. Who is texting? TikTok. Bullshit. I've got an email. Apparently, stuff is broken. Oh, good. Not even an update, just a reconfirmation that shit's broke. Yippee. Complete, and then this. I hit the Copilot button again. I'm actually gonna freak out. You know what? I should just be smart. Cool. That's fine. We'll leave it. Now this, the only thing it changes is that we use this instead of the other thing. Boy, I want to change all of this now because it's so gross looking. I don't care about these anymore. I'm gonna get rid of them. Okay. Play error. Shit. Vowels is not defined. Happens to the best of us. Error. None has never been defined. Alright, this is the first time I'm running this section of code. Well, I got one. It was right at the start. Error. Son of a bitch. Cannot index into north. Huh? What are you freaking out about? What? What does explored say? North 2. It's not even a list anymore? It's not even a list anymore. Or a set. I see how this happened. Oh no. Oh no. This is fine, but then... Nodes, node index. Explored is a set, so we need .add. We're going to .add explored. There we go. Cool. Explored is not a key in the dictionary. Well, this is just a pain in the ass, isn't it? Explored needs to be this. It needs to reference itself. And then we'll update it here. Okay, now it's stuck in another loop. That's fine. Cool. So this little bit of code is functioning again. That's great. That was definitely not like a super ADHD thing where I got sidetracked doing nothing. Now I need to check complete on these, which will be right before the return. Do I get the directions before we scan the node? Yes, so I can pass those in rather than rerunning it. Cool. Why did that not work? But this also is not the correct spelling of that word. So we've updated everything. Why is that not working? That's very strange. What will this do? This will turn true when each direction that could be explored on a node is explored. So what'll that be? That's going to be very similar to this. Actually, I think it's exactly this code, is it not? It's almost exactly this code. Hang on. I will actually probably use this again. There. Let me just try and wrap my head around this a little bit more. I just want the facing direction. That might be a little bit more complicated. Okay, so we don't need to set this at all. So we know we're not complete if we get here. Right, that means the direction's not explored, so we're going to return false. Because it's not complete. This could just be is complete, right? Actually, we could also return the dir here and then just ignore it. Otherwise, we return true and none. Okay, that's probably fine. Now, down here, I can just run is complete. And we'll get 2, which is complete. Dir equals is complete. Oh shit, wait, hang on. That needs the directions. Does it need the current node index? Did I arrange that? It does. Okay. Current node index, directions, cool. Cool. This is where having a class would make this so much better, by the way. Or struct even. I mean, you can give me something basic if that's what you want. Making languages more like C is very frustrating for me. Because we had such a big advancement when classes, the class-based object-oriented programming was invented. And then to see, like, Go just throw that away, and to see stuff like this not embrace it feels very bad. Because it is a critical part of modern computing. And you should use it because it's very good. If you can. If you're in C, obviously, good luck. Not a thing. Use structs, though. They're close. Okay. Now, if not complete this, otherwise continue. That's a little bit better, and now I can reuse that same code. And scan node. Here, right? If is complete. Then we want to update the node with 1 nothing here. I'll need to add a check for not updating that. This will be true. I should make this update better. If explored not equal none. Jank, but fine. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna get errors, but I need to process those quickly. Current node index has never been defined here. It's just node index at this point. Right? Yep. True. Classic. I need one where it's actually a loop. There we go. It's doing a much better job at solving them occasionally. Now we can check if our node is complete, if we've explored every path. Now, we need to find a node that is not complete and explore it. Here's where things get a little bit crazy. We will need to pathfind. This is where I kind of was stumped. I didn't really understand how to do this. In the system we have, in regular nodes, it's fine. I guess I'll need to just traverse the graph and then build out a sequence of directions to go and then go there. Right? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay. I need to add a new global variable up here, which is a path. Right? That'll be nothing. And then I need, for movement, down here, if there is a path, I basically don't want anything to happen. We don't need to check nodes, we don't need to check anything else. We just need to go to a specific node. If path is not empty. We're gonna do this. Is empty. We'll do this. Else we gotta do something interesting. Which is that for in path, we will run this. Hang on, this is not quite right. Okay, wait, hang on. We can do this with a stack, right? So we said, is if path. We run this code. I'm also just gonna cut this out. Else. We're not gonna do this. Else. Sorry, there's so much to untangle here in my brain that it's not like my brain is not working. It's also 11 p.m. So I'm at the end of my wit. But I will truck on. Right. So what's going to happen is I am going to build... Let me actually note this down up here. Path. This should probably go in the graph, right? Up here. And then this should be graph.path. A very difficult thing to say with a lot of plosives. No, just the one plosive, actually. Graph. Dot path. Graph.path.pop. And then in here, this will be a list containing directions. North, south, east, or west. Path is not empty. Pop for next direction to move. Right, I guess we'll set these as well just to really make sure. So what we're doing now is I've opened the idea. So this is if we're discovering, right? Let's note this down. This is discovering. Move as far away from route as possible. So this is going to go as far away from the route as possible, just picking a direction and going that way, and then exploring all the possible paths it can. Now, here, targeted, go to specific node. Why did my heat just came on, but it's cold, which is air conditioning, but it's set to heat, so I hope it warms up, because if you've not heard, the Midwest of the United States, actually I think most of the US, is in a bit of a cold snap, which is underselling it. Tomorrow, it is supposed to be somewhere between 0 and negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. For people who live in Celsius land, that is, what is minus 20 Fahrenheit? Minus 20 F2C. Negative 28, negative 29 Celsius. So, it's gonna be cold. Too cold. Unreasonably cold. Target, go to a specific node, path must be set. Cool. Good to know. This is not the move, by the way. That was wrong. Move is down here. Otherwise, we just move along the direction. We don't need to go anywhere targeted because this is on rails. It goes in a specific direction. Pick facing path is for all non-nodes. So, like, if we're traveling from here to here, right? So here to here is, you've only got one option. You just follow these. This bit of code is run when there's a decision to make, and else is run when there's no decision to make. Oh wait, actually we've got a notification. I forgot about this. So this happened while I was setting up XT3R. I don't know who you are, but you subbed 5 hours ago, right as I set up, and I appreciate it. For some reason, Streamlabs will just throw notifications at me right as I boot up OBS, and then never again. It just doesn't work. See if I can replay the alert. No. It is stuck. Thank you, OBS. Like, none of those Streamlabs buttons actually work in OBS. Like, it's very, very bad. I think it's on OBS's side, and I should move everything over to Streamlabs at some point. But also, their API is not as good. I don't know. Okay. Now, I need to be able to generate these paths, which means we get to do some graph traversal. I don't remember this part of computer science. I'll be completely honest with you. We did this for like a few weeks, and I zoned out because I was like, I'll never really need to know graphs, right? And here I am. To be fair, in work, I've never needed to use a graph for anything. It's just never come up. 4 years of no graphs, and now I'm back in the graph saddle. Not liking it. Usually, when you store a graph, or at least when we did in college, it was like a binary tree that had a very specific layout so you could jump to specific nodes. I am going to wing it. I'm going to wing it. Because it's late and I can't be bothered. Okay, I will just do this down here. To incomplete node. Okay, so sets graph.path to a list of directions to get to a node from the current node, which means I need the current node address. Good to know. Okay, I know this is an error. Pass. Now, up here in scan node, I feel like I should move is complete into yeah, because I can't import this. Does this need is complete? No, it does not. I thought about that. Cool, so we'll update this and then we'll run whatever the hell I called this function. Here. Where do I set the address? It's already set. Good. Now I can get the current node, get node index. Here we go. Oh, I opened my paste bin. Good job, Windows. Current node, get node address. Let's go back to the Brain Age music. I kind of like that. That made me happy. Okay, so we've got our current node. We need our target node. Find incomplete node. There we go. This find incomplete node adder. Incomplete node in the graph. So for node in is it called nodes? Nodes, yeah, there we go. If node if node complete equals false. If not node complete, then return nodes dot. I don't need to remove it. I just need to get its index. What is the... brain confused. Why can't I just get the index of this node? Oh, I guess it goes in order. There's no enum in enumeration in this though, so I need to do the annoying dummy way of this I plus equals 1. There we go. Return I. So this will give me the first node that is incomplete. Right? Not complete. Very cool. How is the music? Is it too loud? I think it's probably fine. Why is OBS beeping at me? Did something happen? It says it's fine. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. So this is kind of where my knowledge ends. Or where my design ends. This is where I don't know what to do next. And now it's playing the baby music at me. That's great. Thank you, I don't... Entropy? What governs random? Probably nothing, right? Thanks, well, I'm losing it. I just don't know what's going on anymore. Coincidence. There we go. What governs random is the stupidest way to say that. Okay. So we've got... Let's pull back up our graph, huh? Good old faithful graph. It's probably really difficult to see. We've got our 0, 0. Let's say that we're at here, and we want to go to a node that's not complete. We've gone from here all the way down to here, right? We've gone to here, and we've gone to here. So this is complete, and we're stuck here in a loop, going back and forth between these options. When I realize that I'm at a complete node, I want to pick one that's not complete. And you know what I'm realizing? I don't want to pick a random node that's not complete. Or the first one, I want to pick the most recent node that's not complete. Which means I need to go backwards in the node. Actually, this is a good thing. Because we're inserting nodes when we get close to them. We can find close nodes to us for the depth first search. It'll be depth first search-ish that are not complete if we just go through the list backwards, which I need to figure out how that one works. There's got to be some, like, Pythonic way to do it, right? I could use a while loop and just increment negatives. Seems like a bit of a... I'm just going to do this with whole ass numbers. Playing nodes... -1. This will give me the last index in the sequence. And then we will go for... Oh wait, you know I can just use a range, right? Oh, can I actually do this with a range? Hang on. This should be easy with a range. So we want to loop through from the length of our nodes. For I in range, length nodes to -1, which is 0. And we want to decrement this, right? Nodes I complete. Okay. This will loop through all of the nodes, and it will find us the most recent node that we added to the list that it's not complete. So, if we go back to our graph example, we go down to here, not complete. We go to here, complete. What's the most recent that's not complete? This one. We go back up, we check this, because it's the last way to go. Not complete. So now we need to path back up to here, which is not complete, and then we go down all the way again. Perfect? Perfect. That was the easy part. the trouble now is pathing backwards up towards the top. So what now? So we want to loop through something. That seems very critical. Okay. So this will get us our list of explored. For X in explored. If EX boy, this is starting to get very, very complex. And I don't think I'm on the right track. Because what this is turning into now, I'm exploring the tree in reverse, or the graph in reverse. If I reopen my graph. So my idea is that now I know that my target here is 3, 2, and I'm at 0, 4. So the thought is, oh, black still is not appearing on screen for some reason. Okay, that's strange. Thought is green appearing? Yeah. The thought is that I would then look at this, look backwards, and say, we don't have anything here. Or we look back up, we say, is this node we're looking for? If not, we scan this node. This has 2 children, or 2 adjacent nodes, right? This one, not the node we're looking for. This one, not the node we're looking for. Then we would scan this one. This one's complete, so there's no reason to scan it. This one is not complete. You know what? That might actually be the right track. I think I am on the right track. Accidentally. And EX1 is an index. So if complete, no, hang on. If nodes EX, EX1. Complete. So if nodes EX1 not complete, that still kind of leaves me the same issue, I guess. Oh wait. I think the way I have this set up, you can't loop unless you're in. Let me ignore that error and take a look at the current setup. So anytime we have a T-junction that goes to two dead ends, that is one of these, where we've got a node with two leaf nodes. That's what it's called when you're at the end of a graph, right? When you're at the bottom. I think that's the only place we can actually loop, I'm assuming. So if we get to the bottom and we assume that we're in a loop, all we need to do is go backwards to the T, right, where we've completed it, and then check the node above it. And I think that should be it. The question is, which node is the one above it? Which is, I guess, my failing. You know what, though? I do have a spot where I do know what that is. It's in here. So what if I just check the last node, right? Last node index right here. We'll pass that in. That'll just be the index of the last node. Nodes EX complete, so no. The scan node is going to be the last node. For EX and nodes, scan node explored. I mean, we can just check, right? We don't even need this while loop. This could be completely wrong, and I will pay the price for it, but I think my assumption here is correct. So we check our last node explored. If one of these is not complete, okay, we actually need to get the direction for the last node. So for... Did we? No. No. Okay. Unequal complete. Path. Dot append. EX 0. So that's the direction. So that's going to go first in the list, right? First and last out is a stack. And then we're going to loop through our current EX in the current node. Right, because the most we ever need to move is 2 nodes away. I don't think this is going to make sense to anyone else but me in my own brain, because we're in complicated territory. I think my brain is solving this, and I just need to trust it. If... something's telling me that that's going to be correct. Barring any error correction I need to do here. Oh yeah, we're just getting errors right off the bat. This is not a valid expression. Fuck. Oh, because not is not real. Okay. Has never been defined. Oh, this should be in graph. Okay. Index 2 is outside the bounds of the list. Shoot. So it should be the length of nodes -1 then? Cool. That should be fine. Still getting an error. Oh shit. Pause. So it gets the direction, and then facing is none, so it doesn't do anything. Wait, what? How is facing equal none here? Facing is north. Wait, what the hell? This doesn't seem right. Is this what this was before? Did something change drastically? I don't have any version control on this, so I can't go back and check. So if we're on the first tile... Oh, you know what? Does all of this need to move back? Oh, shit. I feel like I would have noticed if that changed. So facing is none, we're on the first tile. And we just set facing to whatever direction. A random one. Okay. None cannot be used as an index on this address, I see. I see, okay. This needs to be a check ahead of this, otherwise I just gotta freak out. I actually need this. Update this last. Last note is none. We need to panic about that. This is the weird edge case right at the start. Where's my error hat at? There we go. And then just pass, just loop there. I'll have to combine, kill it manually. And then in here, we want to actually manually check that before we run this. If last node index not equal none, then we can do this. Cool. It is still looping. Okay. Last node index is 10, which would have to be here, right? Look at the here. It should have triggered when it got here, gone back and then gone to here, and then triggered, and then gone to here. This is interesting. So what I need to do is set this up to actually watch. Just rerun a whole batch and pause when it's an error. No. There we go. Wait, what? If is complete. This doesn't seem complete. Does this seem complete? This is not complete. Can I see the nodes? Okay, we're at address 40. And it's saying it's true, right? That's this, 40, and it's saying it's complete. No, the fuck it ain't. If is complete, am I eating glass? What is happening? If not an X, return false. And dirt. Oh, my dumbassery is showing. Whoops. Can I do assignment in an if? Does this work? I don't want to figure that out right now. I'm too tired. Can I do this? Is that valid in Python, or is that only Go? Do you just get to completely ignore shit? What was happening is it was returning two values, and it was just checking it, and it got a dir, so it thought that it was true and not false, which is stupid. But now we know. Now we know. That's on me for being a jackass. Here we go again. Cool. Now it hit a complete node. So what it should do is go back to here and go this way. We'll see. Oh wait, I can just hit play again. It went here because this is not complete. I guess I don't know which direction is further down into the maze, so just picking a random direction is fine. Oh, hang on. That's a little bit of a flaw. It's not picking a direction that it could go, that it hasn't gone yet. It's picking a direction it knows isn't complete first, which is wrong. That is incorrect. That will cause errors. So I need to make a change. Right, so this searches for the previous nodes. Hang on, let me just pen this down. That'll be easier. Explored paths. Right, but first, before we search the previous node's path, we need to find one that it has not explored yet. Oh wait, I don't store its directions. I don't know how to do that. Fuck. Should I store the node's directions? That seems really resource heavy. I don't know another way to do it, so I'm gonna do that. I don't want to think about another way to do it. This is a set. go. I'm fading fast, everyone, but I'm sticking it out for you. Okay, explored. Directions. And I actually think I can pass this in when I add the node. I'm thinking all sorts of ways I want to make this code cleaner. This is killing me not to go back and fix it now. Because I know that when I get to the end of this game, there's going to be no part of me that goes back and fixes any of this. I'm going to finish the game, and I'm going to fucking delete it. That's, you know what? Negative point against programming games. When you get to the end, there's no maintenance. You don't have to maintain your code. You just get to write bad code and then call it a day. The incentive, there's no maintenance incentive. Directions. That took me too long to figure out what had to happen there. That's great. Fantastic. Okay, cut this out. Search previous nodes. Unexplored directions. Then if previous node path does not equal none, we can go ahead and do this. Now if it is equal to none, then we go ahead and do this. Otherwise, we just want this one. So we either do this or we do this. Because we want to check places we haven't gone before we go back and check places we have gone. I hope that makes sense. You know what? Diagram. There we go. If, let's say we hadn't explored, let's say we had not explored 06 when we got to 04. In that case, we would want to go back to 06. What the code was doing is it would get to 4 and it would go, hey, 3, what have you got? And 3 wouldn't look at 6 at all. It would go back to 20 and say, well, I haven't fully explored 20, so we should go there. Never checking that 06 needed to be explored. Anyway, back to business. Back to business. Oh, what was I doing? Directions. I was adding those to the nodes. That's right. Cool. Where do I add the node at? Add node. Address. Directions. Update node. Sure. That's probably fine. None. I hate this as much as you do. This whole... the update function needs to be better. It just does. It's so bad. Okay, so now this will know directions, or the possible directions that the previous path could have gone, or any node could go. And now I want to search for dir in the last node's directions. And then I want to search for explored paths in directions. And then I want to check is explored. And it's going to be false by default. And then if dir is equal to ex0, is explored is true. And I check here if is explored, if not is explored, can I spell? There we go. If not is explored, then previous node path equals this direction. We're just going to go this direction, and then we're going to, nope, close, but no. Break, and then hippie. This is really, really inefficient. Let's test it. I'm assuming we're gonna get errors. Yeah, because my brain is stupid. We don't know the directions, so that's gonna be nothing. Actually, I don't know what directions is. Is that a list? That's a list. Okay. Error. The screen moving suddenly like that really freaked me out. I didn't like that. Directions is not a key in the dictionary. Oh, fuck. Why not? Is it not? Is it not right here where it says directions? Am I eating pencils? Did I didn't spell it wrong. Nodes, last node, directions. No, I don't know what's going on. Address, complete, explore, directions. See, this is why this system was stupid and I should have wrote it different. Oh, no, a loop. Fuck. It's past midnight. I'm so sick of this. Why'd it loop? Why'd you loop? Here, give me the graph back. The graph. I need to pencil and paper this shit now. My cognition is waning. Okay. So we're currently at a node that is a T-junction. And then there's more graph above it that we can't access. Off to the right there's a node right here. It disconnects. Oh, it's a recursion problem. Okay. I'm starting to see things come together. Off to the left, there is another node here. Wait, no, this is just normal not working. What the fuck? I'm stupid? I am stupid? What is going on? Oh, wait, hang on. None now, this should error. Quick print. Cannot find path. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I got halfway to implementing my solution and then I just fucking stopped. Was my issue. Cool. Try again. Pisser. Why did you fuck up now? Pause. It's stuck here. Oh wait. It is a traffic cone. Why can't I find a path? I just didn't find anything. Well, shit. Hang on, the music's too climactic for something that's not going to be finished. We need to go back to chill music. I need to brain age my fucking Brian right now. Nodes, what do they look like? Cool. So wait, where am I stuck? Give me this. Give me this shit. Come up here. Oh, you still got the graph on screen. Sorry about that. So we've got 07 on the board. That's this one. 07 by default complete, obviously, because you can't go anywhere else. What else have we got on the board? We've got 01, which I'm assuming is this. That's 11. We started here, right? 01's right here. I'm eating crayons. Then we've got 70, which is where the treasure is, right here. So we went to here. We started here, we went to this node. What directions does that node have? That node is 01. Complete? True. No, no the fuck it's not. Explored. None. And it's got directions. What the fuck did I do? Why does this think it's complete? Oh wait, edge case. So when a node has no explored, it can't, yeah, okay. I just need to add that check really quick to is complete. Is complete can never return true if explored does not equal 0. Oh. Oh. My genius knows no bounds, everyone. Surely just doing this and not checking the rest of the code will be fine, right? Alright. It's time. Where is my hype music? Okay, that's one. Broke again. Argument when a move was none. How did it get set to none? It was here, it went up here, and then facing just got unset? What sets facing? How the shit? I don't think that's even possible. Alright, hang on. It's gotta be in here that happened. Wait, brain. Graph.path.pop. What if graph.path is empty? You know what I need to do? I need to just debug this like an adult. Wait, what? Popping an empty list should throw an exception. It should, but this is not normal Python. This is busted up, broken ass Python. This is not a full featured language, unfortunately. You can do everything, but you gotta accept a lot of jank. So it is full featured. I'm just an asshole. Move is none. How is facing none? If facing's none, it just picks the direction I'm moving, right? I'm not eating bananas right now, right? If facing is none. Hang on. I mean, I guess I can just see what it is, right? We all know it's none. What's in directions? East. Which makes sense. This is the way it should go. It's getting reset to none at some point, which should not happen. Can I control F here? Well, that's definitely not control. There we go, facing. Let me see this. So it's set to none by default, which is what I expect. The fact that it's global and set outside the method, it just set somewhere else. If there were classes, I would have done this way different. No global anything in classes. It's much cleaner. This is a node, so it would have run through here. This is no longer in scope. Facing node, pick facing path. Is this gonna happen more than once? Let me see. I was lucky. So where are we stopped right now? Facing directions north and east. What? Pardon me? Oh, this doesn't get set just yet. Step over one. Facing is north. That makes sense. Now it's checking if it is a node. Facing never gets set in there, so let's just skip ahead some. This will be false anyway. So not moves. When's the next time we check here? Sure. Actually, I don't want to check it out. Let's check in here. Cool. So now we're at the next node. The scan is really annoying. Does scan set facing at all? No, it does not. So we can skip to pick the facing node. Wait. Was it literally the thing I just ignored? Mayhaps. Mayhaps was it that thing that I just ignored that I said this certainly won't come back to bite me? Was it this, that thing that I ignored? It was. Yeah, myself from 5 minutes ago is my worst enemy, always. Damn it. At least I called it. If not complete. And there is not null. Or not none. Let me just make sure these are proper. Okay. We're so back. It broke again. Oh wait, no, I've got breakpoint set up. Hang on. Oh wait, no, it's just. Oh wait, it's broken. Hang on, it's broken. Play music that's dour and sad. Where is it stuck? Where is it broken? Here. Cannot find path. Oh shoot. Okay, what does nodes look like? We've got a lot. Did this complete early or something? I don't even think this should be able to run. What is this, 3-0? Says it's complete. Let's explore its north, east, and west. And it's only got north, east, and west. How? How do you work? How is this possible is my big question. Oh, what does path look like? No, this can't be set. Right? Path is empty. Why didn't this trigger when it hit either 3-1 or... Wait, what? I'm confusion. I should really have it log where it's moving. Might make this easier. So the most recent is 3.1, which is here. Is 5.1 also complete? Wait. Wait, hang on. This is bad. How do you get an unexpected movement failure and you can't find the path? Oh, it got the movement failure first. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, that's probably my issue. Where's the unexpected movement failure at? Control F. That's gonna be in... Oh, the maze, right? Yeah, down here. This is not pausing. So it looked like a different error. And it's freaking out because it got south twice, somehow. I'm going to assume it's in relation to new code, so I'm just going to mark this off. And I'm going to run everything again. There we go. So now we got it complete. I will step through a few times. Okay. So now path should have something in it. Let's check. Let's see. No. That's not right. I see. Yeah, I was stupid. Okay, I hit an error. Unexpected movement failure. What about? It looked like it was looping in here somehow. Which does not make much sense. Oh, what's going on with the... Strange. Why can't I hover over these? This is frustrating. That would seem to indicate that they're not working at all. Anyway, it's got an unexpected movement failure, so it's trying to move in a direction it cannot. My guess is it should be trying to go south. And it's going north instead. It's got south, east, and west as directions it can go. Oh, it's just out of scope now, so it's not going to let me see it. That's really frustrating. The last node is facing north. Are we at a node? Yeah, so it had to go through this chain. Okay, hang on, I need to update some prints. Footprint, path. I don't want to print all the nodes, but I want to print the path. And that's probably fine for now. I just want to see what we get. Whoops. Well, that one worked. Okay, the path was east here, which is part of why it failed. Cool. How would it have decided east was the path to move? Where was it when it completed? That's a good question for me. If this is going to keep happening, I guess I can just track it back into here, right? Cool. Let's try this. Now it's completed. Previous node path is none. Wait, what? Oh yeah, we've gone pretty far, I guess. Where am I at? What node is 6? That doesn't help me. I don't have these listed by index. I have them listed by address. 8-3. Okay, it's complete. It explored its north and south. But its only direction is north. So how could it have explored its north and its south? That doesn't make sense. That means at some point I'm adding south and I should not be. Which could be part of my problem. What node does it think its south is? Six. Which is its own... Oh, because it tried to move that direction and it failed. It thinks it's to its own south, which is bad. No, it hasn't failed yet, right? No, it hasn't failed. It thinks it's to its own south. Which is how this is south. How could that possibly have happened? Where do we update? Where do we update these? I mean, this is where it would have had to happen, right? So the last node was 5. So its last node was to the north. What? What? So I'm right here. My head hurts. Unless I'm just misreading something. Let me just double check that. Eight 3, which is what we're on. It's complete, which makes sense. It has 2 explored paths somehow. This is true. Wait. No. No, this isn't right at all. Shouldn't it be this? Because this is editing that other node. I think I figured out what went wrong. Oh, let me save, huh? It's been a little bit. Did it hit another error? Wait, no, I just had it stopped. No, it hit an error. Oh. What error did it hit? Cannot find path. Here. I'm just gonna have it run again, so that I can properly debug. Unexpected movement failure. Why? Why? Is the crop not looping this properly now? Yeah, this is breaking. I don't need to break anymore. So this is an unexpected movement failure. It has to be, yep. Its path was nothing, and then its path was just to move north. Its path should always be 2 items wrong. Items long. Correct? So if path is set, it needs to have 2 values. It can't have 1. Current node explored. There's nothing to check that this is not true anymore. Oh, we need music, don't we? No, sad for some reason. That's not right. Here we go. So this would be a cannot find path, correct? Yeah. So here, 6, 9. Oh, that's maze. Need graph. No path. So it's got south, which is item 4, and east, which is item 6. No. That's just wrong. Wait, no. Not 6, 9. 9, 5. I'm dumb. Explore to north. So what does it do? It goes back to the previous one, which is 5. So it's got to be 6, right? Yeah, it goes back to the previous one, which is 5. Which is at here, which is at 6, 9. Uh, 6, 9. Where's that at? Completed false. That makes sense. Explore to south and east, and it's got 3 directions to go. And it broke here. So for EX and nodes explored. South and east. With the current node? That doesn't make sense. The current node is... Does current node get reset somewhere? Current node is get node address, which is 9.5. Current node is 6. 6. Explored is south and east. That can't be possible. Nine five. Explored is north. South and east is of 5. Right? Because we're on node 6. 6. And then this is for node 5. I can very clearly see this. Look. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not even an option. This isn't even a fucking... Wait, hang on. Is anyone else seeing the shit that I'm seeing? The list that we've been given, or the set that we've been given, is south and east. And then this is north. What is going on? Is this a bug? So if EX equals last node, this is true. Previous node pad equals EX 0. EX 0 is north. And then somehow we triggered this, where it's none. I'm not the only one seeing this, right? This seems very incorrect. I'm not misseeing this, right? This is just incorrect. And then this is somehow not in conjunction with that at all. I feel like an idiot, but what? No. This is not. What is going on? 5. Last note is 5. Oh wait. It's me. I'm stupid. And suddenly very awake. Oh, it broke immediately. Oh. Where'd it break? Unexpected movement failure. South. That does not seem correct. How the hell did you decide on south twice? How did you decide on south at all? That doesn't make sense in the slightest. If we're here and this is complete, maybe if you're here you go south and then you want to go east. Go south and then south to here, maybe? Was that the thought process? And then we got here and it tried to move a direction you shouldn't be able to. Okay, hang on. I think I kind of see what's going wrong. So... the trouble is we check before we move where we want to go next. Here. And then we already account for the move we're going to do. So what this should do is the path should always only be one node, really, when we decide for this. Okay, this is also bad. I'm just gonna add a check for it here and call it a day. If graph.path is not this. We're going to manually set facing like this. Call it a day. I think that should fix things. No, why? Is this an invalid movement? Unexpected movement failure. Fucking brilliant. So your path was east. Why? How did you only get one path? That doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm gonna move that. I don't need that anymore. I am so confused. The previous node path should always be... Oh wait, hang on, it's probably printing after that, right? Yeah, it's printing after that. So it had east twice? How could you possibly have decided on east twice? Does 7, 8 have a, I can't even look at this anymore. This is frustrating me. You can't even move that direction. How could it have gone through? Here. And picked east. Okay, wait, what are... I can't look at that because it's stupid. Graph, but this stuff is all out of scope now, so I can't even look at these. Rad. I should just reference it somewhere in here to keep it in scope, shouldn't I? No, that seems like it'd be buggy. I've got a feeling I know what's happening now. So we loop through the direction. Let's note, so where were we at? We were here, right here. And we saw we were at a completed node. We need to go backwards. So we turned around. And we looked at this node and we said, what directions could you possibly go in? And we know what directions. West, north, south. And it picked east, so that's kind of an issue. So its directions possible were west, north, and south. Oh, there we go. What? I don't know why this is still in scope for some reason. Is explored is false, so then we just check it's explored. Not in scope. Cool. I don't know what is explored would have been. We check if the direction is an explored direction. We set it to true. And then at the end, if it's not, if we find a direction that's not explored, we set the previous node that direction, and then we break. So node path is none. Okay, so this is the spot where this could be set. You know where I need to print that list is not here. This will give me a little bit more info. Let's try this. Quips. Cool, that caused a weird issue. So let's see what the path was. Cannot find a path. That's new. New and bold. So when it got to here, its path was south and then west. New. path was south and then south, which makes sense. Then you got here. And its chosen path was southwest. How that works, I have no clue. Direction's west. Where are we at right now? We're down here. Close. We're stuck in this loop. So the last node we could have gone in had west. Wait. This has west. But that's not the last node, unless we moved here twice somehow. But that shouldn't be possible, because we can't move to a place and then move again and not have this trigger. So the last node is 3? Oh wait, when does last node gets run? Gets run. I'm losing my brain. South, south. And then it realizes this one's complete, and it picked southwest. Oh, but now it can't move because it's already complete. So it just got here and it tried to move in a nonsensical direction. Should be moving west and then north. North, south, and east. That makes sense. The directions can move, and it's only explored north. So it thinks it can explore south again, but it can't. Was it never updated? The previous node? Last node index is equal to this node index. That's bad. That's not correct. On the previous loop, the last node should be this, right? How is this possible? I'd love to finish this before I go to sleep. But unfortunately, getting more tired is not helping me solve this faster. Node index, scan node. How is it that we end up with a node index where the last node is the same node? So we were here. We found completed. So we went south. Or we found completed here. Right, so we pop. We set this to whatever this node is. We set it to whatever this node is, and then we move. Down. Here. We go to else. Because now this is not nothing. We pop again. We go down. Last node index. Last node index. Here. So that pops both south. So now it's empty again. And we're here. We check, it's empty. We scan node, we find complete, and somehow the last node index, the node that we're currently on. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken, am I? Wait. We get our node index from scanning. But that will re-update the graph path. So why does scan node return the node index? Can I just move that out of there? Let's get set here. Why do I need to return this? No, don't return that. Stupid. Bad, stupid me. Okay. Here, now we get the node index, right? We pass that into here. That doesn't need a print. Already solved that issue. I could have solved this by just being a better programmer at the start. That might have helped. Oh, it errored immediately. I have to add node address. Eh? I see my mistake. None cannot be used as... Okay, current node index. Thick facing node. What is it freaking out about now? Oh, this needs to stop assigning that. Pisser. What? How did this not get a node index? None. Graph.get node address. 2-1. If 2-1's in the nodes, I'm gonna freak out. I can't even see the nodes for some reason. What the hell? I see. I see why this is happening. You know what? I'm just gonna do this bad, and I took a screenshot. Because if I do it bad, I might get it done tonight. Okay. I'm gonna take this away. I had code that handled the node index being none. Fuck. But error now. Cannot find path. Okay. I mean, it seems like that's the path is west and south, correct? Where to decide on this path? Here? You know what needs to happen? I need it to, if it's going to assign a path, stop. Clearly this is not a complete anything, right? What number is this? This is 06. Let's take a look. Oh, I stopped it running. Hang on. Okay, here we've got a path which is south, and then west, which will error. Oh wait, no, south. Where's the next node? Here, west. Next is east, which will take us to here. Next is south, which will take us to here. Next is west, north, or northwest, so northwest, which solves the puzzle. Next is south, east, which will take us to there. Next is west, which will take us to there. Next is southwest. Southwest, which will solve the puzzle. Now east. What if it starts on a completed path? Because now it's just bullshitting. East. South will fail. I see. I see. Okay. Right, because it inserts the treasure into the table. I need to stop that. That needs to never happen again. That's just completely screwing the whole process. Here. Music. It was getting a little silent. Treasure node. Not needed. Never used it for anything. Facing is none. And now... if complete, and last node index is not none. Okay, I also want this to stop bugging me. I'm going to check it one more time. North, south is fine. That is a valid path. I don't want to jinx this just yet. Oh. Fuck. Cannot find a path. So the last path was east-north, or north and then east, so it went up, then went east, and 3-8 is probably complete, right? I'm assuming. There's a lot of nodes in this graph. Well, I can't see the bottom of this. There's no way to scroll. Maybe? I don't know. This is annoying. 3-8. It's probably just like way lower. Maybe I can see a bit more about it down here. North, east, west were its directions. They explored north, east, and south. That doesn't make sense. The last node that it would have traversed was here? Or no, it was here when it made the decision. And so its last node would have been here. So it checked here. North, south, east, right? North, east, and west. That's this one. I don't know why that happened. I need things to be a little bit simpler, maybe. Why? What node was I on? 18? Well, I can't really see that far, can I? I guess I could have this dump right here. Oh, that's not right. Path was west to south. From where? Like here? So southwest to here? What? Is it facing west? Southwest, I see. I don't think I can see the nodes, unfortunately. I've got some idea of what they look like. Went up here to north, south, east. Then southeast, west. Where we went next. Here? No. I didn't see us move anywhere other than this, so that doesn't really make any sense. Okay. Yeah, we're stuck in here. It did dump the nodes, or it should have. What are we on right now? 2-5. 2-5. Late true. So its parent's gonna be 3, right? South. Zero, 1, 2, 3. It's 5-0. It's completed as false. That should be simple. So its current directions are north, south, and east. Oh, but it's not its parent. No, it is. previous nodes, unexplored directions. And we're on the previous node, right? 2-5, yeah. South, northeast. North, southeast, right? That's fine. Southeast. East. No. 6th. That's fine. I don't know why that's freaking out. Export should be north southeast, right? So this is just not right. I don't know why that's broken. Did I get any like helpful debugging tools doing this one? I can set speed, right? I can set sims, that's fine, I guess. Megaphone, well I can already unlock this. I guess that's cool. I want to get the maze solved though. Let me pause so it's not freaking out. Okay, I'm gonna call it here for the night. I will be back sometime, probably not tomorrow. I've got D&D prep and stuff to do for this weekend. Soon, I'm gonna sleep on this, figure out what's wrong with my brain, and then come back and address that.